sounds from that. How's it going? What? How's it going? Alright, so my name's Corey. What is going on?
Corey in the house.
Hey, Corey with a K! Like Mortal Kombat! Working? No? Yeah, okay. But I'm also known as Movie Dude, 18 on Twitter and Instagram, and these are my events. Who's been to one of my events before? Alright, I love you guys, thank you for coming back. Okay, so 3 weeks ago I was here for Power Rangers, where we had the Red Ranger, right? Okay, we had the Red Ranger and the stunt coordinator and all that stuff, and so I was 5 when Power Rangers came out, and I was 5 when Mortal Kombat came out. Literally, Power Rangers came out in June, this movie came out in August, Power Rangers pretty much ceased to exist. Like, it was all about Mortal Kombat. Like, I grew up on this, my brother was 10 years older than me, and like, my best memories with him were growing up playing these games, getting the toys for Christmas, the trading card game, like every aspect of Mortal Kombat has and will be my life. And so, this is actually, please don't boo me, but this is my favorite film of all time. I don't care, it's my favorite film, not yours. So, alright. So, this movie, I've actually seen it 13 times in a theater. This will be my 14th time. I've never seen a movie more than this movie. I actually own a 35mm print of the film, which I can't say the locations, but throughout LA, I've run after hours with, college friends and all kinds of stuff. And I actually took this film print back to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, where I'm from. And the very last night that theater held film, the very last showing on film in the city of Baton Rouge, was an hour of trailers and my Mortal Kombat print. So this thing has like traveled with me. It is the ultimate film of mine. When I was a kid, I always loved movies, but I never really figured out like how to gateway that. And when I was 5, I thought this movie was magic. Now I know it's just effects and, awesome, amazing choreography. But it's still magic, and I don't think without this film I would have moved to LA at 18 to become a filmmaker, because I aspire to make fun films, 90-minute action-packed fun films, like this movie, not some 3-hour robot movie that's so convoluted with Mark Wahlberg. Love Marky Mark, good vibrations. Okay. So, this movie is my favorite movie, and I've been doing all these events. I did American Pie with the cast reunion. I did 10 Things I Hate About You. We had Joseph Gordon-Levitt here. But I've never been more honored to host an event, or more excited to host an event, than to have 2 of the people that were a part of this film that is my favorite film of all time. And I just want to give a shout out really quick to everyone who helps promote these things. Scott Zillner's here, he's been promoting, he works at the Power Morphicon. My good friend John Tatum edited this video that I released this week promoting the show. And just Crystal for being the best friend you can ask for, and everyone else. But I don't think that I've ever been more excited than I am tonight about anything, because I said to myself when I was in high school, and I wrote a report on the director here tonight, Paul W.S. Anderson. I wrote a report on him saying, who did I want to be? And I don't necessarily want to be him exactly, but I want to make movies that he makes. Just fun movies. Movies that you can get a badass chick with a gun and all she has to do is kill some frickin' zombies for 90 minutes. You can just have fun, and that's what I think a lot of filmmakers and a lot of us forget these days. There's not fun in new cinema anymore. These are fun. Look at this, you're all cheering and yelling and clapping, and you're here watching a movie you've probably seen 50,000 times already. But you're here, and that's awesome. And I rarely say the word honor, but I think a lot of kids right now look up to like Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr. Like they idolize those Marvel heroes. And when I was a kid, when I was 5 years old and 7 years old, including Annihilation, there was one guy that I thought was my idol. And that was Shou. And that guy is amazing. And I can't believe that I'm about to say these 2 names if I'm drumming. I always said I would work with these people one day. For the next 15 minutes, I'm counting it as a collaboration, and it's going to go in my book. So with all that said, please roar for director Paul W.S. Anderson and lead actor Shou.
Yeah, so it's okay. I didn't know. I thought we were going to watch the movie. Work first, then fun. Okay.
Alright, so Paul, kicking it back to like 94 when you filmed this, how did you first board this film? Were you a fan of the game? Did someone see you playing the game and like, you could do the movie? You know, were you a fan at all of the game?
I was a huge fan of the game. I played the game in...
There's supposed to be two!
And by the way, thank you for inviting us here tonight. It's really fun. I'm very excited to see the movie again. And there's nothing that makes you feel older than someone introducing you who was 5 years old when you made your second movie. And also, we were laboring under the misapprehension that we'd actually made a big hit movie, but actually that a lot of people had seen, but it was actually Corey going to see it over and over again.
You know, it was my mom taking me, but yeah.
We got two missions excellent. So I played the video game a lot in video game arcades in London, and so I was a huge fan of the game. And then I made a movie in England, and it played at Sundance Film Festival. And while I was at Sundance, and all the American studios were kind of watching my movie, and they quite liked it, my first movie got released in England, and everyone hated it. So I thought, well, I better try and stay in America, because I'm not going to have any career back home. And there was this movie, Mortal Kombat, was kind of in the offing. And back then, you know, the idea of making video game movies was just very unpopular. You know, Street Fighter, Double Dragon, Super Mario Brothers, and all of these movies really worked. And so everyone kind of said, Mortal Kombat, why do you want to make a movie out of that? Because video games into movies just don't work. And you know, I passionately believed that because I played the game, I knew there was a story and there was characters that people would engage with. So that's why I made the movie.
And when you were brought on board with the film, I mean, I think a lot of fans always kind of wondered, I mean, obviously it was so teens could go see the film, but the game is a very bloody R-rated game. I mean, you're ripping out someone's head and dangling their spinal cords and all kinds of stuff. I was just wondering how that decision was made, or were you a part of that decision, you know, to make the movie? It works, believe me, it works, but like, as, you know what I mean, it was, in the script, it was, I read the first draft of the script last night. I reread it, so and it was an R-rated script, so I wondered what happened there.
When I came on board to make the movie, there wasn't really a script. There was like a 20-page outline that we started working on and pre-production on. And when I became involved in the film, it was already decided by the studio that this had to be a PG-13 movie, because they'd done the research and they knew that the audience that were playing the game was relatively young. So they couldn't make an R-rated movie because it would exclude the people who they felt were the hardcore fan base. So, you know, we had to make some decisions creatively. I felt, yes, you had to forego a lot of the fatalities. You couldn't rip people's spines out and such. You know, I felt that there really hadn't been a Hong Kong-style martial arts movie made in a mainstream Western way at that point. You know, I believe we were instrumental in kind of introducing a lot of very kind of advanced wire work into Western movie making. You know, if you were a fan of those kind of Hong Kong movies, you'd seen all of that, but Mortal Kombat was really the one to kind of use a lot of sophisticated wire work. And that was really because of Robin. I mean, Robin brought on a Hong Kong-based martial arts and wire crew, who just did nothing but ridicule all the American stuntmen who worked on the movie. Because the American stuntmen wanted mats and you know, safety rigs and stunt adjustments and things like that. And the guys from Hong Kong were just kind of flinging themselves on the concrete floors without any pads. And so, you know, the wire work was incredible. And obviously then, a few years later, The Matrix kind of took that to a completely new level. But I think when people saw the wire work in Mortal Kombat, it was something that for a Western movie was very, very fresh and very original. And that's thanks to Robin a lot, because he obviously choreographed a lot of those fights. You know, two of the main fights in the movie that I'm proudest of are the Scorpion fight and the reptile fight as well. And Robin, you know, planned, choreographed, and ribs while shooting one of them. Because that's kind of a Hong Kong thing. You describe whether it's a good fight, it's a 2 or 3 rib fight. You know, breaking no ribs is not acceptable.
So Robin, I don't know if it's true or not, but it was online about when you first heard about this role, you said no to your agent. You said, no, I don't want to touch this. Eventually you auditioned, I guess, with Paul and everything.
Right.
Why did you turn it down, and how did the audition process go?
Well, first of all, I was working in Hong Kong then, and I had no idea about Mortal Kombat, seriously. You know, because it hasn't reached Asia yet, the game.
Yeah.
So when I came to LA, my agent, or friend agent, says there's this movie called Mortal Kombat. I think you'll be perfect for that. You know, I said, Mortal Kombat, do we need another ninja movie? I mean, you know, another action-based, because I kind of knew what the action was going to be. Anyway, because there's just, again, like Paul says, the standard of the fighting is not like the Hong Kong way. You know, everything is very static, staccato, like one punch, one kick, and I'm so used to the rhythm and the style. So no, I don't think I want to do this. You know, because I was working in Hong Kong, I was pretty busy, and so I turned it down. But he convinced me. He said, go in and just meet the people and read. And I went in, I met everyone, I met producer, casting. I think not until the 3rd reading, I met Paul. Because usually you go with casting directors and then producers, and then you meet with the director. And then everyone was just so nice and excited. And then as I get to know the game,